Good evening and a warm welcome to the dignitaries and the participants for the celebration of World IP Day and launch of 75 offline and 225 online IP awareness workshops for adults for more than 75,000 students across the country and release of comprehensive analysis report on Indian geographical indication. So with this brief, now I request Ms. Devika and Anumati Verma from Trademark Office to honor our guest today, our Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh Ma'am. Now I request Sachin Sharma from Trademark Office to honor our guest, Professor Anil Shastrapade Sir, Chairman AICT. Now I request Dr. Sonal Yadav, Regional Consultant, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, to honor Professor Unnat Pandit Sir. Now I request Abhishek Pandey from Trademark Office to honor Amol Rai, Director Sanrachana Foundation. Thank you. Now I request Professor Unnat Pandit, CG, Control General of Patent and Design and Trademark, to give World IP Day address.
Alan, can I?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Today we are gathering for the special day, World Intellectual Property Day. And we have a special landmark which we are going to start from today. We are going to have a IP lecture series called IP Manthan, and I am thankful to Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh Ji, who agreed to our request for delivering the first lecture on the IP Manthan series. A series of activities is going to happen as part of this initiative. As a part of Amrit Mahotsav, 75 physical event is going to happen in various institutions in the various parts of the country, and 225 virtual events are going to happen. And as a part of our NIPAM initiative, this is going to cross 7.5 lakh students who are going to be make aware with the IP sensitization, filing, and so this is the initiative wherein we want that just IP awareness is not enough. IP sensitization, respect for IP, and increase in the patent filing should also be the motive behind the IP awareness drive which we have initiated. NIPAM, National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission, is one of such drive which Intellectual Property Office has initiated. And coinciding this with the World Intellectual Property Day, we are today celebrating the World IP Day on the theme IP and Youth Innovating for a Better Future, and time for celebrating the curiosity and the creativity of a young inventors, creators, entrepreneurs who are catalyzing this economic transformation which is happening in the country. Country has worldwide nurturing this, all the countries are doing this, but we have got the fruitful result also. And as a result of this entire mission, we all have also realized that first time in the history we have domestic filing surpassing the foreign filing, and this is a great time for all of us to celebrate. Innovation plays a crucial role in addressing the local challenges. We all have realized now there is a time to change the gear. How this IP can serve the society, and creation of a IP should be by design. So IP by design should be our mantra, and as a IP practitioners, IP professionals, it's our role to catalyze this. Simply protection of a IP is not enough. We all have seen that GI protection, which is happening, but yes, use of GI logo, GI mark. We all have realized that Basmati cell, which was there in earlier time, and after GI recognition, it has crossed to the 40,000 crore now. And same thing, demand for honey is there. Unfortunately, for honey, it is yet to get the GI mark. So we need to have this kind of activity awareness in the remote part of our country, and this drive will definitely be an initiative from the IP office to facilitate the creators, facilitate the inventors and entrepreneurs. Our objective is to serve them and achieve the excellence in our service. When ISRO can deliver this, how our IPO can place into that kind of excellence in the service. This is something which is important for all of us. IPO has been changing into the services, and still that momentum is there. Only the thing I want to share that we are trying to improve on efficiency at each level, efficiency at individual level, efficiency at a section level, efficiency at a IPO level, and all together as a single IP functioning which is there. And collective effort is required to achieve this goal. On World IP Day, we take this oath as a practitioner that how we can support this entire transformation. What is role as an individual we can play? That would be the important. IP Manthan is one of such initiative which we have taken up. This is going to be there, entire different offices, ma'am. Different offices will conduct this IP Manthan series every periodically, bi-monthly or quarterly, and then we will spread this in all different countries. So let this drive, and this is not just awareness. We will brainstorm on the serious IP issues as well, and we will have the expert people interacting with the stakeholders. So this is one such initiative which we have taken up, and thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation for the first IP Manthan series. I would also like to thank Chairman AICTE that for this entire drive, AICTE institutions are partnering with India IP office, and then initially for this IP week, 300 institutions we have identified wherein this entire drive will happen, and over and above we are going to have this web series also on the these 4 different kind of ideation to the commercialization. We have identified 4 lectures which is going to happen from tomorrow onwards till 30th of April. Yeah. So with this, again I would like to welcome, and last but not the least, on the policy think tank perspective, Sanrachana is with IPO and AICTE, so they are also partnering with us in organizing this event, and later on translating all the views which are expressed into the public policy and the IP policy perspective, and how that can bring out as a authentic research reports. Whatever is going to brainstorm in 300 institutions, that will come out as an authentic IP report of all the partnering institutions. Thank you very much once again, all of you, for joining this historical moment for us, and IP Manthan, which is going to start. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your address, and collaborating with AICT and Ministry of Education Innovation Cell to create awareness among 75,000 students, the part of IP Week from 300 centers across the country. Thanks. I thank IP Office and Ministry of Commerce and AICT and Ministry of Education Innovation Cell for collaborating for this wonderful initiative. Now I request our Honorable Chairman AICT, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, to address the participants.
Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh Ji for accepting the invitation and being with us on a very important occasion of World Intellectual Property Day. Dr. Unnat Pandit, who has recently taken over the task of improving our patenting speed, accelerating that from the front line, as well as Amogh Rai, who has been associated as Samrachana, Executive Director of that, as a think tank in taking our society forward in terms of intellectual property rights. Well, this is a very important day, not only for us in India, but all across the globe, for intellectual property, understanding its nuances, creating awareness. But in India, it assumes a different connotation and also importance today, and therefore it is sort of a celebration time. Dr. Unnat Pandit just now said our number of patents filed in locally have increased, surpassed that of the foreign, and that means we are on a rising curve. Same is the case with the number of patents that have been filed over the last 5 years data. Every year the percentage increases by about 20-25%, and the number of patents being filed have also increased. Number of patents being awarded have also increased. So we are on a rising curve. Transferring this technology in terms of whatever is patented to the industry, to monetize that, to create business, to create a better economy. We are all talking about becoming 5 trillion economy very soon. So all this is going to catapult entire movement in a right direction. Another area in which we have been improving constantly in the last 7 years, starting at 81st position in the Global Innovation Index amongst the countries. In about 140-60 countries, if we are at 81st position, it was not a happy sign. But annually, we have been increasing our number, improving it by sometimes a big margin, sometimes small margin, but not a single year has gone when our rank globally has not improved. And we today stand at 46th position. From 81 to 46 is a journey which we have undertaken. That means we are at a takeoff stage, and that's why I said this year is going to be important. On one side, number of Indian patenting has increased compared to the foreign patenting. Rank has improved. Many technologies are transferred, and then finally many startups have started emerging. We were already third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We are almost now into a space of becoming the second largest, and the kind of population that we have, 1.4 billion people, and 4 crore students in the higher education, and about 30 crore in the education sector. If we reach out to all of these, our clientele in terms of intellectual property, imagine the strength that we have in terms of intellectual property in our country, and then we will be able to surpass almost everyone in terms of Global Innovation Index, in terms of the number of startups. And the sign is visible that when the economies were all down in the last 2 years during pandemic time, due to COVID, I don't think there is any economy which was having a positive GDP growth rate. Everyone was in negative. We were also gone down, but we rose like a phoenix immediately. And today we are one of the fastest growing economies. And 41 unicorns were created in this particular year. 41 unicorns. No other country in the world today has. No, there are more number of unicorns in a couple of countries, but the speed at which we are catching up and the number of unicorns increasing, no other country in the world has that. So we have all the strengths at our disposal. What we need is a little more push on that front. All of us have to work together, and that's why whether it is Intellectual Property India, whether it is Department of Promotion for DPIIT or the Samrachana or AICT or the Ministry of Education, all of us, when we put our brains and hands together, nothing is going to be impossible. And we are at that takeoff stage. And Dr. Unnat Pandit and me were discussing a little bit outside, and when we said that in the 75th year of independence, when we are celebrating Amrit Mahotsav, and the Honorable Prime Minister talks about Amrit Kal of the next 25 years, this target of reaching out to 75,000 students is not good enough. Minimum 7.5 lakh students we must reach out to. And this target is not good for our country of our size, with so many students being available. Maybe we will start small. In this 1 week, we may be able to reach to only 75,000, but our target is that we should continue the momentum which we gained during this period, making all of them as brand ambassadors. We are already in AICTA, Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. There is a concept of innovation ambassadors. We have trained many students from the colleges and universities to take the baton of our innovation to school level, to neighboring areas, and therefore innovation should become part of our life. It should become our culture. We don't have to look forward for some solutions to come from outside. Our problems we must be able to solve ourselves. And when does it happen? When we create a society which is innovative. And for that, some background information that is required is in terms of awareness. What is intellectual property? How do we protect it? On one side, when we come to research publications, research papers, you all are aware that copying a paper and producing it is all banned. There are all laws, regulations which people in academics understand, and therefore plagiarism is not allowed. And sometimes if some faculty does that, immediately action is taken against them. But people are not still aware of creating intellectual property. Some of our people with ancient traditions, in our culture there was nothing like intellectual property. Always whatever we created, it should be available for the whole world. We were always giving it to the society. But in today's world, if we have the same philosophy, that must be followed, practiced by the entire world, then there is no problem. But when the whole world has intellectual property rights, and if you don't follow that, you will be drawn to the court, and there are cases in US where billions of dollars are going to be charged for violating the intellectual property of one organization by another organization. And that being the case, even if we want to give it freely to the whole world, we must protect it by creating our intellectual property, but I will give it at a very low cost or without cost also. That is our prerogative. I didn't have to always charge for that, for transferring that technology for the betterment of the mankind, for the betterment of the humankind. But where required, we must protect it, and that we have observed when Dr. Mashelkar had to fight for patents which were filed, which was indigenous knowledge, whether it is in terms of neem, haldi, which in our villages, right from thousands of years, we have been using for various purposes, from the healthcare point of view, this was being patented and we would have probably charged money for that. And therefore, protecting our rights is important. Then how do you use those rights is our prerogative. And that is our duty to the whole, not only our country, but the whole world, that whatever generated knowledge is there, we are ready to share with the rest of the world. And that's why this World Intellectual Property Day becomes very important, significant. Let us take oath on this day that whatever little I have learned, I will not keep it to myself, but I will share with others. And maybe nearby school, nearby college, wherever you are possible to go, please go there, create that awareness, and in turn they will create awareness. If you do that, I think all the goals which I said, that 7.5 lakh is not enough, maybe tomorrow I will say 75 lakhs not enough, 7.5 crore people to be roped in, and all of this will be possible in the next 25 years. And we should see India as one of those countries which is top in the agenda in terms of intellectual property, innovation, research, and betterment of the society. We are always at the core of our heart, we always look at the whole world as one family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is our very ethos, which we always think that the entire world is one family. And also we talk about Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. We want the whole world to be happy. We never say that we alone want to be happy. And that philosophy also should be taken forward. With this, I conclude. Thank you, Madam, for coming on this very important occasion. And we're looking forward for the first Manthan, IP Manthan, which is going to start today. In the next 1 week, many others will also speak on this entire subject, on different aspects. And we carry forward this message to the whole world.
Thank you, sir, for your address at this important occasion on behalf of the dignitaries and the participants. Special thanks for you, sir, for understanding the need of the society and extended financial support through AICT for filing 10,000 patent for the benefit of students and faculties of higher education institution of our country. So special thanks because last year sir had allocated through AICT a funding of up to 28 crores for filing 10,000 patent. And also sir had taken an initiative working with Ministry of Commerce and reduced the fees, filing fee to 1,600 and examination fee to 4,000. Previously it was 8,000 and 20,000. Sir had returned to Ministry and reduced the cost by 80%. Now the 10,000 benefit, now 40,000 students and faculties will get benefited because the fund allocated was 28 crores. Thank you, sir, and wholeheartedly. This is at this World IP Day, it's a very important. We all looking towards promotion of IP and filing patent. Your thought process 1 year ahead and allocating this fund is really useful to all the students and faculty community of our country. Thank you, sir. The most important occasion, now I request our Chief Guest of the day, Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh Ma'am, to release a comprehensive analysis report of Indian Geographical Indication written by Professor Unat Pandit, Amog Rai and Divya Singh Sehgal. Thank you, ma'am. So now I request our guest, Professor Anil Shastrapade sir, to launch 75 online program and 225 75 offline program and 225 online program, 300 program across the country. Present. Thank you, sir. This program is to be covered across 27 states across the country. So we are trying to cover remaining states and union territories also, so that all the states and union territory students and faculties will get benefited. As a week, IP week, we are covering 300 program. It will be continuing till August, as we will also the target given by Honorable Chairman Sir, 7.5 lakh students awareness. We will take this at both at this occasion and make sure that 7.5 lakh students are trained jointly working with IPO. Yes, sir. You want to say that?
I would like to mention here that National IP Awareness Mission has taken a target of a 10 lakh.
Okay.
And 6 lakh we have already achieved.
Okay, sir.
And as part of this, within 1 week or max in 15 days,
Yes,
we
sir.
will add 1.5 lakh students more.
Okay, sir.
So by doing this,
Sure.
we will achieve up to 7.5 lakh.
Yes.
And we have a 2.5 lakh which is left over again, that this is going to happen
Yes,
till
sir.
15th August.
Yes.
So comfortably we will surpass this target.
Great, sir. So it's jointly collaborated with the AICT is remaining 7.5. I'm sure we may touch more than 10 lakhs, 12.5 lakhs or so we'll touch. So then we'll also celebrate that during August, the same function of that celebration of achieving those targets. Thank you, sir. Now I request Chief Guest Ma'am, Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh Ma'am to address the participant today.
Good evening. Greetings to everyone on World Intellectual Property Day. Mr. Sastra Bude, the chairperson of the ICT, Dr. Unat Pandit, the Controller General of Patent Designs, Mr. Amog Rai from Samrachna. सबको बधाई हो World Intellectual Property Day पे. It is a big day which we always celebrate for giving recognition to intellectual property. और मैं आज ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी एक अमीर आदमी का एक राइट है, ऐसा एक फीलिंग होता है हम सबको, लेकिन वो सच नहीं है. सच ये है कि हम सुबह से जब उठते हैं रात तक सोने तक हम लोग इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी में जीते हैं. मैं आपको थोड़े से एग्जाम्पल्स दे सकती हूँ उसके लिए. सबसे पहले जब हम उठते हैं हम क्या पढ़ते हैं? न्यूज़पेपर्स में कॉपीराइट होता है. हर ऑथर जो लिखता है उसमें एक कॉपीराइट होता है. आप सोचिए अगर वो न्यूज़पेपर रात को ही कोई ऑनलाइन में नकली तरीके से डाल दें फ़ोन पे या आईपैड पे, तो सुबह कौन पढ़ेगा न्यूज़पेपर? कोई भी नहीं पढ़ेगा. सो देयरफॉर उसको कॉपीराइट को प्रोटेक्ट करना क्यों ज़रूरी है? क्योंकि वो जर्नलिस्ट को एम्प्लॉयमेंट वहीं मिलता है. वो न्यूज़पेपर चलता है तो इतने सारे लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलता है, ऑथर को रिकग्निशन मिलता है, एडिटोरियल पेजेस लिखी जाती है, एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स आती हैं, न्यूज़पेपर चलती है. व्हाट डू वी डू आफ्टर दैट? उसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं? नॉर्मली तैयार होते हैं, फिर गाड़ी में बैठते हैं. जब हम गाड़ी में बैठते हैं हम चाहते हैं कि बेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी का कार हमें मिले. क्यों मिले? क्योंकि एनवायरनमेंट के लिए बेटर है. पहले तो पुरानी गाड़ी थी ना डीजल वाली, जिसमें धुआं निकलती थी, लेकिन एज वी हैव गॉन फॉरवर्ड वी हैव मेड श्योर कि हमारी इनोवेशन, जो इंसान एक इनोवेट करता रहता है, जो अभी भी कर रहे हैं, इलेक्ट्रिक तक हो गया, CNG हो गया, हाइब्रिड हो गया, फिर इलेक्ट्रिक हुआ, BS3 हुआ, BS4 हुआ, BS5 हुआ. वाई? बिकॉज वी वॉन्ट दिस वर्ल्ड टू बी अ बेटर प्लेस where we can live comfortably and be safe, healthy and leave a better planet for our children. इसके लिए इनोवेशन की ज़रूरत है. विदाउट इनोवेशन हम टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस कार्स नहीं कर सकते, नहीं बना सकते. वो नहीं बनाएंगे तो हम पुराने एम्बेसडर गाड़ी में ही रहते. बिकॉज वी आर इनोवेटिंग, बिकॉज हम पेटेंट्स प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, उस वाली टेक्नोलॉजी को हम प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, तो वी हैव मोर एंड मोर एंड मोर इनोवेशन. उसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं? एक्चुअली मुझे सुबह शुरू करना चाहिए था स्मार्टफोन से, क्योंकि ब्रश करने से पहले हम स्मार्टफोन खोलते हैं सुबह उठ के. तो स्मार्टफोन एक ऐसी चमत्कार है. डू यू नो कि स्मार्टफोन में एक आईफोन फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सपोज हम $1,000 एक एवरेज प्राइस है आईफोन का, उसके अंदर जो मैन्युफैक्चरर है, पहले चाइना में होता था, अब थोड़े से इंडिया में आ गए, फॉक्सकॉन वगैरह, उनको पता है खर्चा कितना होता है मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए? $30 से कम, सिर्फ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस। उसकी रॉ मटेरियल में कितना खर्चा? मे बी $250। बाकी $700-800 कहाँ है? वो इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी है। इट इज एन इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी। दैट्स व्हाई टुडे इवन iPhone is the, anyone may make iPhones, but the company which owns the iPhone technology is the largest market capitalization in the world. मतलब उस कंपनी का जो मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन है वो बहुत सारे कंट्रीज के जीडीपी से भी ज्यादा है। Why? Because of intellectual property. कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी ले लीजिए, उनका वैल्यू जो है बिकॉज ऑफ IPR है, नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द बिल्डिंग्स और द पीपल और द मशीनरी दैट दे ओन एंड दे आर बिग बिकॉज ऑफ IPR, एंड दैट्स पॉसिबल इवन इन इंडिया। उसके बाद हम गाड़ी में बैठ के रेडियो सुनते हैं, रेडियो में कॉपीराइट होता है, म्यूजिक होता है। आपको पता है झगड़ा सबसे पहले हुआ था रेडियो चैनल्स का और म्यूजिक ओनर्स के बीच में। म्यूजिक ओनर्स ने बोला हम एक ही FM चैनल को देंगे म्यूजिक, लेकिन 10 FM चैनल है, एक को देंगे तो 9 क्या करेंगे? तो देयरफॉर कंपल्सरी लाइसेंसिंग आया, कॉपीराइट। हर एक चीज जो हम एंजॉय करते हैं लाइफ में, जो कपड़े पहनते हैं, इट्स गॉट जोग्राफिकल इंटीग्रेशन, इट इज गॉट पेटेंट्स, इट इज गॉट। अभी आज हम हाईकोर्ट में एक IPR का इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करके आए। वहाँ हमने 10 साल से कम एनरोल्ड लॉयर्स के लिए हमने एक स्पीच कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज किया। 3 मिनट्स हर युवा लॉयर को दिया जो राइट अप सबमिट किया। हमने 10 को शॉर्टलिस्ट किया, उसमें से 10 बच्चे आज बोले। वन ऑफ द लॉयर्स स्पोक अबाउट IPR एंड फैशन। उसने ये बताया कि रद्दी कपड़ों से कैसे नया टेक्सटाइल प्रोडक्ट बना। वन यूथ लीडर। सो फूड में हम कितनी रेसिपीज हैं, सारी रेसिपी बुक्स कॉपीराइटेड हैं। फूड टेक्नोलॉजीज में पेटेंट्स हैं। कंप्यूटर खोलते हैं, उसमें कॉपीराइट है या उसमें पेटेंट है। कोई भी चीज सुबह से रात आप जो इस्तेमाल करते हैं उसमें IPR है। ये बिल्कुल इंसान से इतना नजदीक है जितना आप सोच भी नहीं सकते। ये बात आज मन में डाल लीजिए कि जो जो चीज आप यूज कर रहे हैं हर चीज में एक IPR। आप रात को आके किताब पढ़ते हैं या टीवी देखते हैं, आपको मालूम है टीवी में कितना सारा IPR होता है। इंडिया इज द लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ क्रिएटिव वर्क्स इन द वर्ल्ड, लेकिन हम जो पैसे कमाते हैं हॉलीवुड से 1/10 होगा, 1/10 होगा। क्यों? वी क्रिएट मोर वर्क दैन दी हॉलीवुड और दी अमेरिका। वाई? क्योंकि आप लंदन में जाइए, टोरंटो में जाइए, US में जाइए, किसी भी सड़क में जाइए, लिटिल इंडिया में जाइए, पायरेटेड सीडीज, पायरेटेड पेन ड्राइव, पायरेटेड म्यूजिक, पायरेटेड मूवीज, सारा इंडिया का हर लैंग्वेज का आपको मिलता है वहां। लेकिन वही हॉलीवुड म्यूजिक का इतनी आसानी से नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि उस IPR को एक प्रोटेक्ट करने का तरीका आता है, लाइसेंसिंग का तरीका आता है, कमर्शलाइज करने का तरीका आता है, मोनेटाइजेशन का तरीका आता है। Why is that? When we create so much, why are we not making enough money for our youth? The biggest contributors in our country today, the biggest creative minds are our youth. Almost all the major tech companies in the world are run by Indians. लेकिन वही लोग यहाँ वही स्टैंडर्ड के कंपनीज क्यों नहीं बनाते? क्योंकि हम उनको एक इकोसिस्टम नहीं प्रोवाइड कर रहे। वी आर नॉट गिविंग देम द बेस्ट इकोसिस्टम। तो इसको जब चेंज करना था 2014-15 में IPR थिंक टैंक कॉन्स्टिट्यूट हुआ, जिसमें 6 लोग थे। जस्टिस प्रभा श्रीदेवन थे, मिस्टर सबरवाल थे, उन्नत भाई थे, मैं भी थी, 2 और लोग थे हमारे दोस्त। 6 लोगों ने हमने IPR पॉलिसी लिखी 2014 में, जब जो 2015 में रिलीज हुआ। हर पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट की तरह हमें लगा पता नहीं ये कबर्ड में चला जाएगा या फिर इम्प्लीमेंट होगा. बट आई मस्ट से in the next 6 years, despite the pandemic, the IPR policy, which gave the slogan Creative India, Innovative India, that was the slogan of the IPR policy. We have actually come a very long way. And I think Creative India, Innovative India करने के लिए 3-4 मुद्दे थे जो हमने रेकमेंड किया था. और मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि आज के दिन में हर एक मुद्दे पे देयर हैज बीन प्रोग्रेस. वी हैव मूव्ड फॉरवर्ड, वी हैव नॉट मूव्ड बैकवर्ड. एंड द पॉलिसी इज नॉट अ पेपर डॉक्यूमेंट, इट इज एन एक्चुअल टाइगर, नॉट अ पेपर लेटर. सो लेट्स नाउ टॉक अबाउट द पॉलिसी. पॉलिसी में 2-4 चीज़ें कही थी हमने कि एक तो हमारे स्कूल्स में, कॉलेजेस में, यूनिवर्सिटीज में सब तरफ वी मस्ट स्प्रेड IPR. The youth of our country needs to learn IPR. They need to know the importance of IPR. उसके लिए IP ऑफिस ने भी और अलग अलग academic institutions ने, I'm sure bodies like AICTE, CSIR, I'm sure they've all done their work because I'm not in the field anymore. तो मुझे इतना knowledge नहीं होगा. But मैंने ये देखा है कि comic books publish हुई है telling children what is the importance of thinking. हमारे यहाँ रटने का वो एक सिस्टम है, मग कर लो, रट लो, एग्जाम्स दे दो. वो एक थिंकिंग को हमने चेंज करना एंड आई थिंक द प्रोसेस हैज स्टार्टेड. यंगर स्टूडेंट्स, कॉलेजेस, यूनिवर्सिटीज, एवरीबडी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट IPR नाउ. सो दैट्स द फर्स्ट स्टेप दैट वी डन. द सेकंड स्टेप, यूथ को एनकरेज करने के लिए देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इंसेंटिव्स दैट इज बीइंग गिवन. फैसिलिटेशन वाज प्रोवाइडेड in the IPR office, where the government subsidized availability of patent lawyers, trademark lawyers for startups, for individual inventors. तो गवर्नमेंट उनको पैसे देती थी ड्राफ्ट करके फाइल करने के. तो ये एक अच्छा सा एक सिस्टम हुआ. मुझे नहीं मालूम, डॉक्टर पंडित को पता होगा कि उससे कितनी फाइल हुई है स्टार्टअप से, सबसे. तो आई थिंक दैट वो भी एक बहुत अच्छा स्टेप लिया गया. तीसरा जो स्टेप मेरे हिसाब से जो लिया गया वो है एक्चुअल लॉ में अमेंडमेंट लाना टू से कि अपने इंडिया का जो स्टार्टअप्स होती हैं उन लोगों के लिए फीस विल बी 1/4 और इवन मे बी हाफ, आई एम नॉट श्योर ऑफ द एग्जैक्ट अमाउंट. उनके लिए एक्सपेडाइटेड एग्जामिनेशन हमने बोला है कि देयर पेटेंट्स विल बी एग्जामिन्ड इन अ फास्टर पेस. सो दैट लीगल लॉ में जो चेंज हुआ उससे काफ़ी फर्क पड़ा है. और उसकी वजह से मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड इन दी IPR पॉलिसी इन 2014-15, ट्रेडमार्क्स में 80% जो ट्रेडमार्क्स फाइल होती थी वो इंडियन बिजनेसेस का होता था और फॉरेन का 20% होता था. पेटेंट्स में एग्जैक्ट उल्टा था, ऑपोजिट था. 20% होता था इंडियंस का, 80% होता था फॉरेनर्स का, अराउंड 2015-16. बट नाउ एज ऑफ February आई चेक, इंडियंस का हो गया 40%, which is huge. 4-5 साल में, especially in the pandemic, from 20% to become 40% and increase in numbers. परसेंटेज में तो इंक्रीज हुआ बट नंबर्स भी बढ़ रहा है फाइलिंग का. उसमें देखेंगे तो इट इज अ वेरी ह्यूज अचीवमेंट. This could be due to 2 reasons. One is because we have Indian startups, Indian companies who are filing patents. We may also have foreign company subsidiaries filing Indian patents because the research is happening in India. Even that's a very good thing. So long as the company or the individual or the inventor who's filing it is an Indian. So the more domestic filing happens, the more it shows that we have an IP-friendly ecosystem. So this thing what Dr. Pandit just told you, that as of the last quarter, Indian filing is more than 50% than the foreign filing. It surpassed the foreign filing. According to me, this is a landmark achievement because this doesn't happen easily. It happens with a lot of concerted effort, with a lot of energy, with a lot of focus. Only then this happens. So this is a good thing, and I think it's very good for our youth. So now that we are moving towards this direction, what is the next thing that we need to see? We need to look at monetization of IP. We need to look at कमर्शलाइजेशन ऑफ आईपी। जीआईज हमने रजिस्टर किया, लेकिन 300-400 जीआईज में से 5-10 ही बहुत सक्सेसफुल है, बाकी क्यों नहीं सक्सेस हो रहे? क्योंकि हमें एक इंडिया में एक प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट करना चाहिए जहाँ पर इंडियन जीआईज को वी आर एबल टू प्रमोट देम इंटरनेशनली। वी शुड बी विलिंग टू सेल दीज प्रोडक्ट्स इंटरनेशनली सो दैट जो जो कम्युनिटीज के लिए जीआई बना है उनके लिए एक्चुअली बेनिफिट शेयरिंग मिले। वो अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप है इंडिया का। दैट इज व्हेन we will move from a developing country to the developed status. Because until unless it reaches the last mile people, it will not bring economic growth and actual affluence to these people. वो होने के लिए you need to make sure that monetization happens, commercialization happens. As a part of the High Court, being a judge dealing with IPR matters every day, there is one big problem and one big challenge. That is the internet. The internet is a big opportunity and it's a big challenge, both. For IPR, it is a big opportunity because for the youth, I think it's a big opportunity. You're all able to have platforms which are easily accessible without much payment for selling your goods, your services. You are able to earn revenues. On the other hand, intellectual property is also being challenged by the internet. जो बाकी सारे बड़े e-commerce platforms में जो बिक रही हैं products, we don't know how many are good, how many are genuine. There are problems with that. So we are facing problems. Indian creative industry is facing problems because of that. We need to learn how to take up this challenge of the internet and make sure that the internet continues to become an opportunity and not a challenge for the IPR. मुझे याद है जब मैंने 12वीं पास करी थी, मैं बैंगलोर से हूँ, हमारे कम्युनिटी में, सोसाइटी में यही था कि लड़कियां डॉक्टर बनेंगी और लड़के इंजीनियर बनेंगे। लेकिन आज के दिन में बिल्कुल चेंज हो गया। द होल सिस्टम इज चेंज। वी हैव एनी नंबर ऑफ प्रोफेशनल्स। IIT खड़गपुर में गई हूँ जहाँ इंजीनियर्स लॉयर्स बन रहे हैं। आप बायोटेक कंपनीज में जाइए बैंगलोर में, रियल MBBS डॉक्टर्स रिसर्चर्स बन रहे हैं। सो द होल प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशन हैज गॉट कन्वर्ज्ड एंड देयरफॉर आई थिंक दैट दिस 4-year course of merged degrees, I think it's a brilliant idea because someone should be able to study music with economics with chemistry. Why not? And I think therefore the change in the education will bring more and more intellectual property in our country, and the more we do that, आज मैं अभी वहाँ स्पीच सुन के आई हूँ, एक लड़की कह रही थी कि आजकल तो लोग लॉयर डॉक्टर इंजीनियर बोलते हैं, which is true, क्योंकि लॉ जो है प्रोफेशन, it is merging all other professions. We have musicians who are lawyers, we have chemistry, we have mathematics honors, we have physics people, we have economists, they are all lawyers. And so this convergence of law with other disciplines is the next step in intellectual property protection, and I think that's a very good thing. The average age in India is 29. We are a very young country, and that's why the theme of WIPO for today, IP and Youth Innovating for a Better Future, makes a lot of sense because it is meant, according to me, for countries like India and no one else, because we have the youth, we have the brains, we only need to provide the correct ecosystem to be able to do it. You will see our industries are growing. During the pandemic, हमारी pharmaceutical industries ने ये दिखा दिया कि we are better than most of the world. We are worse than none. So our country, to whom vaccines would have never come, except maybe for the richest rich, is now happy sitting in this room because we are all vaccinated. And that's because of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. And that's why India is called as the pharmacy of the world, of the developing world. Same in IT, same in energy. In renewable energy, I think India is a leader. We are self-sufficient, or in fact surplus in electricity. आप कभी सोच सकते थे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में हम सरप्लस हो जाएंगे? नहीं सोच सकते. We need We have enough creative industry. We have IT. We have all these industries. But what is to happen now? दो चीज़ें होनी चाहिए. एक तो हमारे अपने घरों से हमने IPR को रेस्पेक्ट करना शुरू करना चाहिए. You know, even to today my kids are very scared कि अगर वो कोई मूवी डाउनलोड करेंगे तो पायरेटेड, उनको इतनी डांट पड़ती है. तो ये सिचुएशन हर घर में होना चाहिए. हमें एनकरेज करना चाहिए कि ठीक है, ये ऐप खरीद लो, बेटर है. 300 रुपये में ऐप खरीदो, लीगली डाउनलोडेबल म्यूजिक है. वो 300 रुपये बचाने के लिए आप जो पायरेटेड म्यूजिक करते हो, 3000 लोगों की नौकरी चली जाती है उससे. So encourage respect for intellectual property within your own homes. इंडिया में थिएटर्स में जाते थे, पिक्चरों की रिकॉर्डिंग होती थी, कैमकॉर्डिंग. बट अब नहीं होता क्योंकि कैंपेन शुरू किया उसमें कि डोंट रिकॉर्ड, डोंट डू दिस, डोंट डू दैट. सो दैट मेड अ डिफरेंस. सो वी आर प्रोटेक्टिंग आवर क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्री. इसको हम एक एक नागरिक को एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, हमारे ऑथर्स, हमारे बच्चों के लिए वी नीड टू रेस्पेक्ट इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी. कल को हमारा बच्चा कुछ क्रिएट करेगा, कौन उसको रेस्पेक्ट करेगा अगर हम किसी और का नहीं रेस्पेक्ट करेंगे? तो किताबें पायरेटेड प्लीज मत खरीदो. पे द 50 rupees or 100 rupees and buy the book. Buy one book instead of 10, but buy the genuine book. Or download a book by buying an app rather than, buying a pirated book at the traffic signal. Right? So that's the first thing we need to do. And the second thing we need to do is to make sure that we all continue to invest in our youth. Make sure that we address their curiosity. उनको ये मत करिए कि IIT में ही जाना है, क्या पैकेज मिलेगा. No need. Make them do what they like. They are very creative minds. They have curious minds. तो उनको rote learning बंद करिए. Make them curious. फर्क नहीं पड़ता अगर 95 की जगह वो 75 ले लेगा कोई बच्चा. But make sure that the child's creativity is there. Communicate with the youth. Be talking to them. And make sure that we do not lose this humongous opportunity. Because as we go on, maybe in the next 10-15 years, हमारा average age 35 हो जाएगा. Youth खत्म होती जाएगी at some point because it's a process of evolution. So we are at the right cusp. If we do the right thing, we will be successful as a country and we will definitely come out as one of the best countries in the world. तो ये कहते हुए मैं ये कहूँगी कि ये जो IP मंथन आपने शुरू किया है उसके लिए आप सबको हार्दिक बधाई. और मैंने यही सुना है कि जब भी कोई मंथन होता है स्पिरिचुअल में अमृत ही निकलता है. तो आई एम रियली होपिंग दैट योर IP मंथन results in the Amrit for intellectual property and for our country. The only difference between the best and the better is intellectual property. Let us try to be the best. And Mr. Sarsubuddhe ने कहा, हम सबका वो अच्छा चाहते हैं लाइफ में एज इंडियंस. और इसमें ना एक मुझे गुरबानी में अरदास में जो एक आती है ना एक वर्ड वो याद आता है, नानक नाम चढ़दी कला तेरे बाने सरबद्दा भला. तो सरबद्दा भला ही इंडियंस ऑलवेज चाहते हैं. इस वर्ड्स के साथ आई वुड लाइक टू एक्सटेंड माई वार्म ग्रीटिंग्स to all of you on World Intellectual Property Day.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful and more informative speech and making everyone responsible for IP. And we sure we all take that responsibilities and in a day-to-day life, and will play as a responsible citizen to protect IP in every part, and also will teach our family members to protect the IP. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And also for highlighting the creative India and innovative India and the progress made so far. It was really eye-opening for us, seeing the progress which had happened so far. It's very informative. And also we want to convey at this occasion, ma'am, that under the leadership of Chairman Sir, Professor Anil Sasubde sir and Dr. Abhay Jare, Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, we have trained more than 10,000 teachers from higher education institutions on IP as a part of Innovation Ambassador program. A module is there on IP. And also want to convey you that Sarah recently took forward this to school education. We have a program called School Innovation Ambassador Training Program. More than 11,000 schools have registered with us, and 54,000 school teachers have registered for this Innovation Ambassador Program, and 12,000 teachers completed this module, and 12 hours module is there on IP. So we want to convey at this occasion that we are also in the direction of promoting IP at the school level also. So thank you, ma'am, and I thank Chairman sir for this motivating, guiding us and pushing forward for in this direction to do many more things in this way. Thank you, sir. And I thank yes,
I
sir.
would also like to mention here
Yes.
that AICTE has developed a curriculum
Yes,
for
sir.
UG, PG and PhD. So under National Education Policy, through AICTE, they will offer the IP courses for the students. And those students and the faculties who are virtually connected with us, this is again one of the course which is going to be optionally available. You need to opt for this course. Soon this is going to be offered through Swayam platform. That's the decision which AICTE has taken, and AICTE has approved this 3 courses on fundamentals of intellectual property and how to convert this intellectual property into the productization and commercial approach, and the entire translation of IP into innovation and innovation into the business. That courses are going to be offered through Swayam platform.
Yeah, thank you.
Not only that, what is most significant is to reach out to those people in remote areas, those who take their education, उनकी मातृभाषा में शिक्षा लेने वालों के लिए हम उसका अनुवाद भारतीय भाषाओं में करके वो गांव-गांव में पहुंचाने का भी कार्य कर रहे हैं।
आज जो मेरे पास जानकारी आई है उसके मुताबिक 400 इंस्टीट्यूशनल इनोवेशन सेल्स जो AICTE ने स्थापित किए हैं, वहाँ इस कार्यक्रम का लाइव बताया गया है, और जो जानकारी उपलब्ध हुई है उसमें मोर देन 3,500 students, faculty have watched this program. So this is the information which I have got on my statistics. On a various platforms, WebEx, Facebook and YouTube were used for connecting with them. So though it looks like we are around 150 plus, but there is a large amount of audience who is watching us in a virtual platform. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for highlighting, and thank you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and being with us and giving very informative address. So we are all overwhelmed with your address, and we have been happy to be part of this program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So I also want to convey all the participants that we have a web series from tomorrow, which is, as Punnat sir said, through IIC Institution Innovation Council program. We are conducting a 4-day web series between 2:30 to 3:30 program. It is live through Ministry of Education Innovation Cell YouTube. I request everyone to participate and convey the same to your colleagues and friends in the college. So now, yes.
This is part of one big, because this is for India chapter. We have analyzed for 15 different countries and compared this with India. So this is part of one big docket which is going to come out soon.
So as a formal vote of thanks, I request Dr. Rajnish, Director Sanrachana Group, to give a formal vote of thanks to close as a part of closing ceremony of the program.
Good evening, everyone. What an inspirational, thought-provoking session, led by Justice Pratibha Singh. Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us. Professor Anand Sahasrabudhe, that it's a delight always to hear you and your, very, very large initiatives which you've undertaken very successfully. I think these will go a very, very long way. And Professor Un Pandit, thank you very much once again. In the capacity of the Controller General for Patents, and I think we have the right leader, the right chair, in the right chair, to drive this initiative at the right time as well. And I must thank Amog Rai for leading and inspiring this event in joint participation. I think that was commendable. And on behalf of the organizing committee of the event, I must thank everyone for your very gracious presence. And thank you very much once again, ma'am.